All right, so group of ladies are in the house and we're actually having a conversation, we're chatting, we're having fun. But then today we decided to look at something that concerns us. Yes, it's all women affair and it is conversations. My name is Elizabeth Abai. You'll be wondering, what is our focus today? 2023 is just around the corner and a lot of preparations are going on for people to go in and cast the vote if you're up to 18. And we're wondering, my mom used to tell me something, and of course, she's not the only one. A lot of people still say the same thing. When a road is good, you go there again or you go through it again. I'm wondering if the road Nigeria has been towing, it's good. Should we go it again? If it's bad, should we go it again? 6% of women in Nigeria is the only people who are actively participating in politics. That means for the female gender, that is well above 49% of the entire 200 million plus of people. Only 6% of us are taking decisions. It's sad because it could have been better. We're not even up to 35. But then, let me not empty it. I have women who have been and who are still planning to join politics. I don't know about myself. But let's start introduction.
Well, my name is Deva. I'm at your mom, and it's good to be here again this morning.
And when I say have been, now you know who I'm talking about. And a woman who is my sister from another mother. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How's the baby doing?
He's doing well. He's 4 months and a week.
4 months and a week. You're already gyrating. Grace is good.
I tell you,
I'm sure you don't need introduction, but I still need you to say your name.
Natasha Poti Uduaha.
Okay.
PDP candidate, Kogi Central Senatorial Elections.
Okay.
Fantastic. My name is Joy Banachi. It's good to be here this morning.
All right, it is a house, and every woman out there draw a seat. We need to chart this course because it concerns every one of us. The decision of your children, it's been taken by people you want or you do not want. The decision of me and you, it's being taken by people you may want, you may not want. What are you going to do about it? Are you ready to reposition and put the right people in place, especially women? We must do it right. If we make homes, we can also make country. But then, are we ready? Are people ready to accept us? Our powerful team went out there and surveyed, vox of the people. Let's see what they brought back.
If the woman is nice and have a vision for this country, I can equally vote her. All we want is somebody that has a vision for this country, somebody who understood the problem of this country, somebody who wants to deliver, to bring people out of bondage. Then why not?
Well, for now, I will say I will not vote for one. Not that I am anti-feminist. I love the women because I have them all around me. I have them as sisters. And tomorrow, have them. In fact, I have them all over me. But the thing is just that Nigeria is not yet prepared for a female president. I don't see that it will not have the people who will vote for them. Even on the other side, if I may even stretch it further, their fellow women may not even still stand by them.
I will be very, very impressed by seeing a female gender like contesting for a governor, even presidency. I would love that.
We have tested men and we have seen the experience we had in them. Most of them are heartless. They are so selfish. They don't care for anyone. But I vote for any woman being that I admire, that I see qualities that I need in him or her. I don't mind the gender differences. What I mind is, number one, fear of God. Whoever has fear of God and has a good antecedent is the one I will vote for.
Women are weaker vessel. And to be a leader, you must be facing a lot of pressure from those that think they own the country, that they must have a say in the country. There's a capital punishment in some other foreign countries, and that is why you see women lead. Even a very young person can lead, because the constitution, you have made things easy for such person. Capital punishment, everybody knows that if you do this, you go in for it. If you do this one, you go in for it. If you do this one, so everybody will stay clear. So it makes the work very easy for the woman. But without that, as long as our constitution is not working properly, I don't think a woman should come for now.
I would like to vote for female president because they are our mother and they know how to do things very well. They know how to organize very well.
Yes, I would definitely I will vote for a female president or governor or in any leadership capacity in Nigeria. Women are good managers. They are better managers than men. Even in our various homes, the man is supposed to be the head of the family, but the manager, the one who manages the resources that are brought in the family, is definitely a woman. If you have a good wife at home, your home is built. And that transpires into every other aspect in the society. If I have the opportunity to vote for a female president, are we?
All right, the people have spoken, and I know that we all listened. I tried to take statistics of people that spoke for the women. They're quite on the high side, and it's amazing because a lot of them were actually men. And I want to believe they're speaking their mind. There's something I always wonder. They say women are the weaker sex. I don't know. Each time I hear it, I feel funny. What's your take on it?
Well, I think that it's a perception. Certainly, if you talk about physical strength, on a scale of 1 to 1, the average man would beat the average woman.
But it's leadership physical.
I'm getting somewhere. Higher bone density, better upper body strength, and so on and so forth. Biologically, physiologically, men are physically stronger than your average woman. Your average man would beat the average woman in his weight category. But you see, when it comes to mental, emotional, and psychological strength, I think that we are just as strong, if not stronger. And I also think that many of the women who have occupied positions of leadership, look at Angela Merkel, Indira Gandhi, Golda Meir, and they excelled. Margaret Thatcher, even the Queen. I know it's not really like she was more of a figurehead than anything else, but there are so many women who have distinguished themselves in leadership positions and excelled and done brilliantly well. Even in Nigeria here, I recall when Dr. or should I say Professor Dora Akunyili?
Yes.
Professor Akunyili revolutionized how men see women.
Yes.
I recall back then, on a number of occasions when I went out to do vox pops around these kinds of issues, I know how many men were saying, until this woman came, I thought having 3 daughters was a misfortune for me and everything. People were now starting to realize that, hang on, okay, the fact that I don't have a son literally doesn't mean anything. So I think that what we need to remember is that men are worth their weight in gold in certain things, just as women are in other things. I don't think women are weaker than men. I think that we're actually stronger emotionally, psychologically.
And those are things we actually need for leadership, to get things done right. They seem to think because I think our soft spots actually helps us to know when to carry the stick and when to carry the carrot.
I do think women are more emotionally intelligent.
Yes, we are, definitely. I'm not saying because I'm a woman. Even if I were a man, I'll still give that support. Anyway, Natasha, you have been through the journey and you're still in the journey now. And it looks as if women will never really make it. What is that big elephant occupying that pathway, not letting us cross over?
Quite a number of factors. And you started this conversation by putting out the percentage of Nigerian women in active politics today. That's probably occupying elective positions at 6%. The reality of the next assembly is going to be worse.
Yes.
I will tell you today in PDP, I'm the only female senatorial candidate in North Central. PDP. In the South, we have only one woman, that's the former deputy governor of River State. In the Southeast, we have only two, Anambra, that's Senator Stella Odwa and Senator Kunli. No.
What's her name?
Exactly.
Yes.
Quinife, yes.
Ogunife.
Two of them. So that means how many? One.
Then
two,
you
I don't
have
know how many
Ogujime.
of them. Which state is that?
Ekiti.
Oh, Ekiti. That's
Ekiti
it. How many? Just from
Just
this
from just
Southwest.
just one.
Just one.
Okay.
Now, hopefully, and I pray that we all win. That means we're just sure of about how many? 6. And here we are talking about the Senate of 109 people.
Yeah.
Now, you're asking about factors. Let me speak from the side of the party. My form was free, and I believe for other female aspirants who became candidates also got their forms free of charge. We paid a few administrative fees, but that's nothing compared to what our male colleagues and counterparts paid. So that's say the party has done its own part. But then there are other factors. The financial implication is expensive.
Even with a free form?
Yes.
No, you have to campaign. For each time you set up a campaign team, you go, you manage your little groups, pressure groups, and all logistics, your campaign materials. It's expensive. The poverty is real. That. For every time you call in a group to meet at your home, you have to mobilize them. These people
even
are
with
poor.
all these vote buying, the campaign against vote buying.
No, that's not it. I'm talking about during campaigns.
Okay.
Like you go toward meetings, you call even women, you call your trade artisans, you want to speak to them, sell your manifesto, your vision. You must pay for their transportation. Let me speak for Kogi State, one of the poorest states. When the United Nations pegs people that survive on $1 a day, I think ours we survive, let me see, on 20 cents a day. Where the poverty is real. Now, financial implication is one. Secondly, the attack, the meaning attack to dehumanize, to malign, to defame women is real. I'll use myself as an example. I was single at the last election when I was on the SDP platform. I was attacked for being single, for being unfit. I had people in government, the present commissioner for information called on me, was an AIT show. He said, Natasha is not fit to be because she has an improper family. So my being a single woman made me an improper family. Meanwhile, at the same time, Senator June Melaya, with due respect, was also contesting, also a single man. But no one actually attacked him or raised the fact that he had an improper family. Being man enough was okay for them. Okay, let's say now I'm married. Okay? I didn't get married just to please the people. By chance, God made it happen. I love my husband. But you see, again, I'm being attacked. Oh, she's married to a man from Delta State. People should not vote for her because they vote. She should go to her husband's place. So suddenly, I then have a problem in defining my state of origin. But I thank God the good people of Kogi Central have seen beyond that, and they were able to counter that. And they don't understand that the Nigerian constitution actually allows a woman to choose between contesting in her own state of origin or her husband's. And as it is now, I've not denounced my state of origin. So, but you see, there's a lot. So we're talking about even, because we need to see, before you talk about the financial implications of conducting the campaign, successful campaign and all, there is the women in Nigeria are already defeated mentally.
Yes.
So they have not even will I come? Will I even win? who would support me? Do I want to see my life story painted out there? The other day I woke up on the 31st of November to 31st of October to read that I was being named a terrorist. You saw it. I was so surprised that you didn't call me. It was so much for sisterhood. Yes, I woke up. I saw so many calls. All the papers had me. The Kogi State government was calling on the security agencies to arrest me in connection to Owa massacre and Kuje prison break. And I was like, how here was I nursing my baby? I wasn't in the country at that time when this incident happened. But you know what? It was so easy to attack and defame a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it now begins to ask her, if I was a man, would you go that low? Would you pick on me? On the fact that my mom is not a Nigerian? On the fact that my husband is from Delta State? You know, all of this. And you see, when you speak, when she speaks, when I speak, and she also, each time we make an action, we represent many other women.
Yes,
so if every woman today sees, even the governor himself and all of these who attack me, they have wives, they have daughters. And whatever they do unto me is a reflection of what they are building into their own daughters,
system.
their own. Yes, and they what? I say, you know what I mean? After going to school, we were taught history, we were taught government, we taught about societies, our duty and roles as equal citizens to go to build a country. And then when I step into the real world, there's a glass ceiling. There's a lot of attacks on me. That means, I'm living in a deceptive world. It's unfair. There's a lot of battles a woman faces. And I tell you, when I speak to women on the street, they are so much more defeated already. They're almost giving up. But then I hope at the end of this discussion, our women here are going to encourage them that, you know what, it's left for us to keep on fighting, but it also depends on how bright we carry on the flames.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely we are going to carry on the front, which is why we are doing what we are doing. And I know that Lady J herself, she may not be, politically picking up a position, but I know that somehow she is a pivot for a lot of women who are in the system. And I'm thinking, what do you think is your mindset? She said a lot of women are already defeated. What's our mindset really towards achieving the cause?
I don't know what to say again, because she said it all.
Go ahead.
Even in the home, the husbands have defeated you. Your in-laws have defeated you. When they're talking, they said, women don't talk. Women are not allowed to talk. And you see, in other countries, because we have been privileged to see other people in other countries, how things work for them. And we are in Nigeria, and we've already learnt and we've seen. I had the privilege to go to a mixed school, and I have friends who went to single schools. There's a difference. Take it or leave it. The ones who went to mixed schools are very confident. The ones who went to single schools are never confident.
Oh, wow. That's same-sex.
Same-sex stuff. And what people ask me is, did you go to a mixed school? And I said, yes. Mine, I went to a military school, so it's more, I can get into any system and say anything I want. People don't like me because of the perception they have. They think I'm too confident. But I say the way it is. It's about hair. It's not about being a man. Sorry to say we're on national TV, but excuse me, why are things not working in Nigeria? The men are selfish. The men don't fear God. The men do things for their own, what do you call it? For their own personal interest. When you put a woman, take it from the home, she always does things that will benefit the society. Every day I watch, guess what? I don't watch TV anymore. Why? When you get to when you listen to them at the National Assembly, I cry. Even for them to vote for things pertaining to women, these people never vote. It's always negative, negative, negative.
Why are the men not scared of us? Because as much as we speak, I think when somebody is becoming very territorial, it's because they're scared of playing into the hands of the enemy. And I think we're
What?
not
No,
enemies.
I will
know
not.
we're not enemies.
I will not even agree with you. With what you said. Why are the men scared of us? Are the women supporting women?
I think we've changed that.
No. That's the narrative you think. That's not the narrative.
May I say something personal? I believe you had seen recently some scandal that, Natasha blackmailed her husband, all of that. You'll be surprised there's a woman behind it.
Oh, wow.
I tell you, Stella
That's it.
Okotiti. This is life, but that's it. She had to connive and plan with Yaya Bello that, you know what, while you attack her from Kogi end, I'm going to make sure I weaken the Delta support. Stella had to do that. Why? That's it, just from that story. So I actually believe, but in my own place, on the other hand,
Yes,
my dear lady,
yes.
the grassroots women are actually of great support. But then, when you talk about women who have attained some things, are we ready to hold our hands and say, you know what, I'm going to share my experience with you. I'm going to share my network with you to ensure that the pitfalls that I have faced, you will not face. And simplify. That's the problem we have. I don't have a female mentor as a politician. That's what is lacking.
Yeah.
But I pray, and I'm telling Nigerian women, when I get there by God's grace, I'm going to invest a lot of my time and resources to groom a lot of capable young women into leadership positions.
Agree.
I make that pledge now.
No,
Sorry, my
no,
lady.
there's no problem. I don't mind you chipping in. You see, the thing here is we have to get it right. And that's why I always say, even the girl child says, they say when boys are talking, we have to be quiet. They have to do things the way boys are supposed to do it. We're supposed to be behind. And I tell people, when you get married, you see, you're beside each other. That's the perception. So why is it that the men, if you even go to the National Assembly, even the jobs they say they're setting jobs for women, they're supposed to be tea girls.
Why not T-boys?
See, we went to school. We're more intelligent than them. We think and we reason before we do things.
We're multi-skilled. Anyway.
That's it. But I really don't know what the problem is. Because even the deputy governors, do you ever hear them speak? When I watch, what's that state, River State? I pity her. Because she's there, I've never heard her, I don't even know how her voice sounds.
She's senator now.
You understand? Because she's just there. The governor is just...
Yeah, but how many deputy governors' voices do you hear?
Oh, no, I do. No, let's give it to the Southwest. I do hear Southwest. I do hear Kaduna. Even the deputy governor of Kaduna State.
Edo State. Okay, as a man.
Yes.
That one is female.
It's female.
No, she's talking about that cross-border.
Okay, all right. No, I am talking
because of the position.
fantastic. That's why I'm telling you. I'm talking about the females in the Southwest. That's how I even know they have deputy governors who are female. Because they're relegated. Excuse me. Okay, let's take the president. Oshibajo has been given other jobs to do. So why can't women, if people say, okay, they want women, they use women to campaign. They use women to get votes.
To tie wrapper.
So if they're that good and they're that efficient to do those supposed for you to get your votes, so why can't you? Excuse me. Put these women in power.
I'll still give it to the FCT. I mean, the Minister for
yes.
State. She is quite heard,
oh, yes.
And she's doing an amazing job. I wish other people can front their deputies, so to speak.
I think Ireti too. I think she's a candidate for FCT.
Yeah, I really don't know, but I know that she's doing well. Yeah. And some people are still communicating with us. I'll still get back to ask you about support, family support, because you have had a lot of experience. But let's see what we can take from here. Lots are just moving in. What Natasha said, she is right, but there is ignorance of the government's power. They want to get at anybody. Natasha, carry go. Thank you very much. Hi, beautiful ladies. My name is Hajia Binta. I base in Kano. I'm APC woman leader, but I am from Kogi State. Natasha, do you have faith that you are going to win? If you have faith, don't look back. I'm with you.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
I will support you to the end.
Thank you.
And get my number from this message. Okay, thank you very much.
Don't forget to share the number.
I think yes, I will give you the number. Okay, so let me go back a little bit.
Well, I love the fact that she's stepping across party line.
Oh yes, she's PDP, but that's
And
not
she's-
It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, what's your question?
My question is, we talked about support
Yeah.
for the female candidates,
Yes.
whoever they may be it governor, president, and all of that.
Yes.
But I know that you were once a APC candidate for
Aspirant.
for your
House of Reps.
Okay, so and I know that families a lot of times do not support, but your husband supported you. Beyond him, what kind of support did you get, while you were doing your campaigns?
Well, I got financial support, moral support, psychological support, logistic support from my husband's family. In my culture, you marry. When you marry, you become of that side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in
You're
my
not, you're not
culture.
like me.
It's a cultural thing.
Ours is one leg in, one leg out.
No, it's a cultural thing. If I marry,
It's Abriba. We are matrilineal, so you're never really gone from your home.
okay. In Tiv culture, if I married a German, I'm a German.
Okay.
They are not
Okay.
interested in my complexion, or I'm now a German. Yeah. So I'm expected to, have a voice in my husband's house, things like that. On the flip side, I'm not expected to come and be talking in my father's house.
Oh, wow.
Yes, there's that cultural thing. So if I were to run for office, for instance, although the constitution says you can do either or, I would run from my husband's place,
Okay.
not from my.
Okay.
Although we're of the same ethnic group anyway,
Okay.
and in fact in the same local government, if not for the recent splits. Now, I had all the support I needed, but it's
What
also
about the
instructive.
females within your environment, be it your family or your husband's family? Did you get enough
In
support from
terms
them?
of family, I had all the support I needed. I keep emphasizing on my husband's side because that's the person that would have had the voice to say no,
Okay.
and I probably have backed down. No other person would have been able to stop me. But if my my husband or his family had said, don't do this, I'm the kind of person that would back down. I'm not saying other people should, but I would have backed down. So regardless of what any other person was saying in my family, that didn't matter. I emphasized my husband's one because that was what mattered most, and I got all the support I needed there, including from my parents-in-law, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, who became a cook for everybody in the village essentially, because they had this nasty thing where everybody, I'm sorry, God forgive me, like literally everybody in the community would wake up and come and sit in our
Yes.
house and get
Eat.
fed morning, afternoon, evening. So when we're talking
That's how
about
it
how
works?
expensive it is,
Yeah.
it's
When I
these
go, I
kinds
kill a
of
cow
things.
every day. Some days I kill 2 cows.
It's a
because
lie.
You
I'm
understand?
telling you,
So
whenever
you
I
feel
go
in
home,
Nigeria?
ran for governor the first
yeah,
time.
but even now, during whenever I go home now, I kill a cow a day.
I know, I
Sometimes
don't-
2 cows.
Because
I
they're
don't do
always
that.
there.
Because I have, but I love it. I love the interaction with my people. Once they're not attached, it's almost like the mother is around. My gates are open, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whoever you are, the doors are open.
So
I will
when we
feed you.
when we talk about how
When
expensive,
you're going to the village again, let me know.
Of
I'll relocate.
course.
so when we're talking about expense, these are some things we're referring to.
Yes.
Everybody
It's
will
not
come
even
and sit in
election
your house
time
and
yet.
Eat morning, afternoon, evening, and so on and so forth. So you have that. I had all the support I needed in that regard. Now, when we're talking about just the average woman out there, I would say that women politicians should do everything to network properly
Yes.
amongst women, and particularly amongst those who have already made it. You understand? I think there's this perception from young female politicians that because I'm female and I'm a politician, every woman should automatically support me. It's not, it won't happen. First of all, we're human beings, so we're going to have differences. Some of these people owe that man that they are supporting something because the person has supported them before. There's so many nuances. Ordinarily, it should be that because we're all suffering the same issues, we should come together. But how much effort do you also put into actively courting these women? Have you actively approached this woman and told her you need in a respectful way, not just a phone call, a text message.
Exactly.
Have you gone to physically see her the way you have gone to physically see the men?
Yes.
Like during my time, for instance, I recall one lady needed my support, and she picked the phone and called my husband and told him to tell me
Oh, wow.
to support her.
Your phone doesn't work?
You know, I was like, this is so absurd. Why would you call my husband and tell him to tell me to support you?
Because
you could ask my husband to
help
facilitate an introduction or facilitate a meeting so that you can talk to me face to face, one on one. But she went and my husband
I'm sure
was
she
like,
must have.
I'm sorry,
I'm sure she had
don't-
a reason.
I'm sorry, I don't function that way. Call her.
I think she
yourself.
has.
This is
She
her
had a
number,
reason.
you know. And she called me, and first of all, she was in a different party. She called me and like, okay, since yours isn't happening, I want you to tell your supporters to support me and everything. And for me, the approach wasn't working. Not because I wanted her to lie down and worship, but I felt like
she was high-handed.
when I needed people's support, I went and met them physically and spoke to them and tried to get their buy-in. I didn't call people on the phone and tell them what to do. I called them and booked appointments and came to see them.
Respect is reciprocal.
You understand?
We should do
So
things
that
properly.
the approach matters. Don't assume that because you're a woman is bound to support. I'm not bound to support you, especially if I don't like your attitude.
Definitely. You were
Now,
gonna
say this,
something?
of course, to the women out there who are interested, the support you get at home for those who are married is very important.
Yes.
Very rare.
And especially in Nigeria here, I respect being a married woman even now, and when I was previously married to my ex. I adore a man. I believe he's the head of the family, and one of those has nothing to do with being a feminist, but I believe the men should be given the due respect. And if a man tells you, oh, he feels uncomfortable with you being in politics, which is also, you see, that's an inhibiting factor that many women face. They get married to spouses that do not align with their political
Exactly.
ambitions.
Yes.
So before if you know your intentions are going to lead, your career path is going to lead you to serve the people politically, please ensure that the spouse you get married to, the person you get married to, is on the same page with you.
Exactly.
Now, here
Agree.
it is. When my husband was asking me out, then the first thing I made him understand was that, listen, I intend to live my life in service of my people, whether as a philanthropist, serving my people from the proceeds of my entrepreneur of my businesses, or in active politics. Will you be comfortable with that?
Doing that.
Will you support me? I made sure I had this clear, and he said yes. There were other men that were also approaching me when I asked them, oh no, when I get married to you, I'm going to keep you here. Just no one will even see you. You're not going to hear your voice. I had all of this are real. So it's important every woman gets this affirmation or get this cleared and sorted out so that there will be no ambiguity tomorrow. Because once you are married and you have a home and you don't have your husband supporting you, even the emotional support that will be provided, the moral, the psychological,
support. You
that's
need it.
crucial. That's very important. And mine, I tell you, God has blessed me such a person that whenever I feel down or I feel I'm beginning to believe less in myself, he tells me, come on, remember who you are. You are Natasha, you're this person. He becomes my greatest motivator, and that is very important. Before you even talk about the financial support and then beginning to pull it, I bet you most of the donations I have received today in printed t-shirts and banners come from his own friends and family. My people also do, but you know, Deltas seem to be more well off. They're doing, and that is what probably when you ask about the home support, is very important. Because it can make you, it can break you. Imagine waking up early in the morning on Monday and what you have to battle is the mental balance of what fits and what it will demoralize and take the whole lot of you. I tell you.
No,
Now,
I know.
When I get home
Yes.
from work from a political meeting and I want to go into the kitchen to fix, because I love to cook, I'm very hands-on. He tells me, no, you're too tired. I'm actually going to fix your dinner for you. That's how supportive. Yes.
No, but you know the funny thing is very
Very important.
You
for
see,
every
I
woman
come
getting
from
married.
a part of Nigeria that is a pity. Amigala,
Nago.
Agba. women.
Oine.
I think that's Idoma. That, you see, we're talking here. How many galas have you ever seen? Women. Even the men want to kill themselves. They're killing themselves. So even the women, there was a woman who was very, very good. Women leader. She was burnt in her house.
Yeah, I think I read that story.
Till today.
2019.
Here we are, because she was one lady that was outspoken. She had confidence. She could look at anybody. She was burnt in her house.
I read that story.
So where I come from, women are not meant to talk.
Well, let me just chip in.
Yeah.
She was burnt in her house.
Yeah.
And months after that, the UN Women Nigerian division actually gave the governor some accolades.
For what?
So they honored him as a pro. What's the award they give?
You see, unfortunately,
I had to call the lady.
You know,
what's her name? Oh, she's
you know
from Jos.
No, but you see,
I called her, Madam, how could you do that? How can you? Where is your voice? I was attacked. A woman was killed.
Yes.
And here you are. I thought you were going to lead the call for justice. And here you are celebrating. You moved your team there to crown him as he for she.
You see, unfortunately, let me tell you the sad
That's the
part.
problem we
Let me
have.
tell you the sad part about Nigeria. Everybody's selfish interest. And I know that these people have been given money before they do all this kind of things. And everybody knew who was behind what happened. That was one Igala woman among all the Igala women. And it's so sad because Igala women are intelligent, they're hard workers, they're brilliant, they're entrepreneurs. Because when you go to Igala, if you go to Igala land,
what do you say, me?
So you see, the thing here is, I tell you that it's a pity. And if you notice, Igala women are just sitting there doing their own thing and living themselves outside politics. But I think we have to change. We have to take the narrative and we have to fight for ourselves. So I love this program. People are watching. I want us to support each
other. A lot of them
other.
are writing it. Let's quickly, touch base with them before they kick me out. Good morning, presenter. I'm Lucy. I'm watching from Abuja. I love today's topic. It's really time we women started taking and working because the men are not doing us good.
True.
I love Natasha and her energy, and I wish I'm from Kogi. Oh, wow. You can change you. I would have joined hands with her in this, but I pray she wins. Whether or not you're Kogi, you can actually team up and get it done. Good morning, Her Excellency Natasha. You're a leader with high level of integrity. Have been canvassing for you in my community. Almighty will make your affairs easy for you. Amen. Okay, let's see from text messages. That's been the WhatsApp pages. So many of them. How am I supposed to take all this? I'll just try. Good morning, ladies. I am Doris Stephen. I'm watching from Port Harcourt. I'm enjoying your conversation. Thank you very much. I hope you have your voter's card. That's very imperative. Okay, I'm fully in support of all of you. Thank you. You didn't say your name or where you're writing from. Good morning. I'm Bumi by name. I'm from Kogi State. Natasha. Carry go, we day your back. All right. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. I really fancy your position on current affairs. That is Natasha. But we miss your dancing steps.
I dance. Very well. Don't worry, you'll see me soon. I'm coming home to campaign.
All right. So somebody is sending us account number. Please, we should be sending you our own account number because we need money to campaign. For women. Nice program. Even me, I'm tired of men, and this is a man writing. Leadership. We need women in high position. Women, keep it up. We pray for you to succeed. Thank you very much. I'm just scanning through to take as much as I can. This one is from Trump, Lagos. This is OD Trump, Lagos. Okay, not America. Good morning. The only power the female gender in Nigerian political space must seek is the power to institute good leadership. This is what matters most to all of us. Okay, so we cannot contest. We should seek to put people there. That's okay. Please vote Barrister Chief Natasha Apoti Udara as senator representing. This person is doing campaign on my
Kogi. He must be a Kogi.
Okay, Hamza, Mind yourself. Oh. All right.
If I may quickly come in here with regard to the family thing. You see, Nigerian politics is partisan politics is absurdly violent.
Agree.
9 out of 10 times when your husband says no, your parents say no and all this. It's not because they don't want your betterment, they don't want your growth. They are afraid for you.
Scared.
They are scared. Because first of all, even men go out there and it's a battlefield, it's a battle to the death kind of thing. When it's women, you have to be twice a man.
Come to my state.
Because 9 out of 10 times, the people you are going into battle with are men.
Yes.
So you have to be twice a man to tackle that man down and beat. So now, for instance, when I had my run, but at this time my parents had both passed, I had to go to the village and tell the oldest person, that was my uncle, the person who was my father's immediate younger brother, and therefore, and he said, oh, when your father was dying, he handed your protection over to me. And when he was alive, he always said he doesn't want any of his children to go into politics. Please don't do this thing. I said, well, if you were alive, I think I may have been able to convince him to see with me. And since you cannot be definite that I wouldn't have been able to change his mind, just support me. He said, I'm doing it against my will. This is the last thing your father told me before he died. And all. Now the truth is, had my father been alive and called me and said, my daughter, I heard you want to run for House of Reps. I also understand your husband doesn't mind and he's supporting you and everything. But as your father, I've seen some really dark, dirty stuff. You're my child. I'm worried about your welfare. I think at that point I would have become very conflicted because my father was also the kind of person who would ordinarily let you do what you wanted to do as long as it wasn't something that would lead you into trouble or cause you some kind of self-destruction. So he was ordinarily fairly liberal. So for him to call me and say, please don't do this, it would have given me pause. So most of the time when these people intervene and try to stop you, now she was speaking about how whichever politician you are, be you male or female, you will be maligned. It's a strategy to bring the other person down.
Definitely.
But there are different strategies used with women, particularly. With women, there's this thing about trying to humiliate you.
And then you
to
husband to
defame
say,
Yes.
you are letting her go. She's going to come back and become the man.
No, they told my husband that
You are letting her go for night meetings. How are you sure
Are you sure she's not sleeping around? That's
So
it.
that means the
Yeah.
men sleep around when they go for that.
Well, we
I
don't
had to
know
ask,
that-
like, when you guys all go for your night meetings that
Do
end
you
at 3
sleep
4 a.m.,
around?
do you sleep around?
See, the person I was contesting against, right? The people in his team came to tell my husband, your wife is too young and attractive. People will snatch her from you. So apparently, my opponent's team were very worried about making sure that my matrimonial home remains intact. Yeah. Apparently.
For their benefit.
For their benefit.
Nice people.
Whatever. So the thing is that when it comes to these things, I remember that in Zone C, that's the Idoma speaking side of my state, that's Benue State.
Yeah.
There was one particular lady who ran for, I don't know whether it was Senate or House of Reps. She was stripped naked.
Why?
And beaten to a pulp. Now,
Why?
I've never heard that a man got stripped naked.
As a candidate.
Because you
I
want
was
to
beaten
run.
up in 2019. Remember
Yeah, I
during
remember,
the peace pact?
yes.
I've never heard that a man was
And
stripped
your office
naked.
was
Burnt. Yes.
I
My
know.
burnt.
grandfather's house was set ablaze.
What happened? It's still the same political violence. But when it came to the woman,
I was physically beaten.
that was, with men it gets bad, there's bloodshed, people die, they're killed and everything, but I've never heard that a man got stripped naked. This woman was stripped down to her panties.
No, I want to know why.
No, because she
her
was not
opponents were
meant.
against her
She
now.
was not meant to run. Why would a woman run?
She ran quite okay, but it's an intimidation tactic.
Yes.
Now, if I've heard that a woman ran in this place and was doing so well,
You will not go
that
there.
her opponents
Yes.
decided that this was what they were going to do to her. Maybe she was doing too well. Because on campaign day, you still go from polling unit to polling unit. Even if you're not going to campaign, you want to be sure that things are going well. You want to monitor what's happening. Maybe she showed up at one of those polling units where it was populated by real thugs. She was stripped naked down to, and barely escaped being raped. That would not have happened to a man. So the strategies for humiliating a woman that goes into politics are deep and dark.
Yeah.
I'm getting more
You understand?
afraid.
No,
So-
and that is why women are afraid to go into
Yes.
politics.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
but
And your
There's
families
al-
will
there's
not
also
encourage,
that.
and your families won't encourage
your
you.
family
We're gonna
that cares
break that.
about you will
Yes.
be worried about
Yes,
it.
they won't encourage you to run for.
And when it happens,
Yes.
the people are never called to book.
Yes.
I want to know,
They get
Natasha,
away with it.
you're amongst the four of us here. You're solidly, positioned to take the bull by the horn. What do you think you'll be doing right this time around? How you'll be doing right this time around to ensure that we clinch it? Because it's not about us just running. The basic thing, we need women, more of us, to come in and take position. A lot of people are writing here calling for women. I haven't seen anybody who said no to women. So Natasha, we're going behind you. In fact, I'm moving to Kogi. Please write your names.
Please pen your names down and put your phone number. I
Write
promise to
your
stay in
names
touch.
because
Let
we
me
must
say
follow
this.
this.
Life is a learning curve, and also is any political journey. After my senatorial and gubernatorial election in 2019, I stepped back. I made an assessment of the journey that far. I took into consideration the mistakes, and I said, okay, if I was to contest again, what would I do differently? The first thing, with due respect to the political platform I was in then, I said, okay, we lacked strong, what they call gatekeepers on the election day, which they call the polling unit agents and
Yes.
all. I was in SDP. We didn't have that much of a solid framework and structure across all the polling units. So when the votes came, we didn't have the people on ground to protect them. So it
the
was
votes.
easy to tear the ballot
Okay.
papers and for the APC candidates to thumbprint and push in stuff in. That's what. So then I said, okay, I was going to move into the change political platforms, PDP. That's one thing I did. But like I said, with due respect. Now, any other political party, for those of you who are in other parties, can be grown stronger. But it takes a lot of money, a lot of effort to build structures across. It takes a lot. So what I did was like, okay, I was going to move into a formidable party with a solid structure across all wards and all polling units. That's one. The second thing, by chance, it just happened like an act of God in a good way, whereby I got married. Now, let me say this. I know people will say, oh, you know what? Maybe she got married just because of the pressure. No, the pressure, yes, it got to me in a way because I didn't like the fact that I was attacked and my children were reading all of that and it got to them. So I said, you know what? I apologized to them several times. Look, mommy had to drag you this. No, it's not your fault. But most of what you read out there does not depict me. But it took, and so don't let it affect you. But in that, I still saw how it affected them at that time. That's one. So let you know that. So what I now did was, I had a good conversation with my fiance. Then I was like, okay, you know what can we do at this point? How? So we also understood. We also came to an agreement that look, we are from another state. There will be discussions on where my right to contest in my own state or my husband. So we had all these discussions, and then we got married before I even decamped. So that's number two that got ticked off. Now I'm not saying that you cannot contest and win as a single woman, but understand your realities. That's what I'm saying. And at each point, it's like going on a battle, and you now build your arsenals to that in preparation. If you're going to fight a war on the ocean, then you need some boats, and your ammunition will be different from, you can't take the horse into the sea to fight. That's what I mean. Be realistic with your challenges and prepare yourself ahead. That was what I did. So I talked about the party I had to move. Then by God's grace, I got married. So that's 2 ticked. And then all along from my elections then till now, I never lost touch with my women in my state, in my district as well. I never did. Not just women, everyone else. I kept on doing my deeds, supporting them in their businesses, all the schemes I ran, and all, we're still in touch. So and that's in line with what she said. That means what you need to interface with these women at all points. Sell yourself. Don't assume that,
Because you're a
because you're a woman, therefore they should just vote you in. No, it's left for me to connect, to align, to synchronize with them, and that was what I did. So these three things, actually, I've not even gone home yet to start my campaigns. I had a baby, but I've seen a lot of walks, a lot of marches, a lot of group meetings on weekly basis being gathered, held by women, the market women, the gari sellers, the cloth weavers, all the artisans, even the young female students. I've seen all this happening. There was a huge sensitization, and that's because all along I sold the vision myself to the people. So I tell, if every woman does this and more, like I said, it's a learning curve. Anyone who can deploy new strategies that will bring the desired impact, that person must walk that route. But then we should know also that the efforts any woman puts in has to be so much more than the effort the man puts in. If I were to be a man, for how endeared I am to the people, I bet you there would have been so much more support. Because they would say, let me tell you, my dear, I had men who called me there, Natasha, it's not like, I love you, I love who you are, I love you to stand for, but you're a woman. Voting you in will give my wife confidence that to say, if Natasha can do it, I can. It's like, you're going to embolden my wife. I'm like, isn't that a good thing? Don't you want your wife? They said, she's going to have, you will sharpen her mouth. That's how. I was like, really? I said, but do you have daughters? Yes, I want my daughter to be like, yes, okay. How do you want your daughter to be like me, but you don't want your wife to be like me? Knowing full well that your wife is her first hero, her first teacher.
And your wife was somebody's daughter.
So what is going to happen is, I tell you, please, one thing, Elizabeth, have more of this discussion.
Oh, definitely.
We need to have more programs that will shape in the minds of people. We need to have more. The Nigerian movie industry needs to project more female heroes.
Please watch. No, please.
We need to do that.
Please watch Floss. She just said something.
It's very important.
Watch Flossom.
Okay.
It just came
we
out
need
by
more. We need young girls.
It's a Flossom. It's about women.
You see, defeat starts here.
Yes.
And victory also starts here.
Yes.
And you see, whatever, you'll be amazed that the brain, a 3-year-old girl, the 5-year-old girl, whatever she gets every day from movies, from the books she reads, from her classwork, we need to consciously project more women as
if I were to go to read all these messages, my phone tells me that I've received well over 700 messages.
Wow.
And the ones I'm flipping through, they are all telling me, Natasha, you are our next senator. This person didn't write his name. He says for the next senator. So I want us to
go out to vote.
Let us have an agreement. Women, we must vote.
We must vote.
We must get our.
Have we checked?
PVCs.
No, have you checked if your women have PVCs?
Okay, so we are going to do that. So on that lovely note, to say bye-bye, we'll bring you more of this topic, and we ensure that
please vote women.
Please vote women.
Go collect your PVCs. Collect your PVCs. We love you all.
Shout out to the people of Kwando Shongo for being very supportive of women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very supportive.
Brilliant.